Believe it or not, there is a message in Valentine's Day beyond the chocolate, flowers, and Valentine cards. While it's fun, and chocolate is certainly delicious, but it's always worth asking with holidays and days of celebration, what exactly are we celebrating? Certainly not the billions we spend each year as we give companies our daughters in the name of love and kindness. The message of Valentine's Day is, of course, love. But it's important that we do not reduce that message to only the superficial kind. The legend of Saint Valentine shares as powerful of a story of love as exists. The choice to love selflessly is just that, a choice. And the legend of Saint Valentine's is worth retelling. The story is that Saint Valentine defied the orders of the Roman Emperor Claudius Gothicus and helped young couples get married. The problem was the emperor barred marriages from taking place because he needed single men to help fight for the empire. Saint Valentine was executed for his defiance, which was his belief in the spirit of love. And we all know what a remarkable testament of love the ultimate sacrifice is, laying down one's life for someone else. And Saint Valentine exhibited this type of love. He knew his actions would infuriate the emperor, but he believed in its power so much, he risked everything. For Saint Valentine, love rejoiced in the truth and endured long after his death. His love was embodied in the couples he helped get married, and the spirit it demonstrated to the citizens of Rome. This video is not intended to debate the authenticity of the legend of Saint Valentine, but rather to inspire through the message of love, through the poem of love that will make you understand what true love is. What exactly true love is. So stay tuned till the end. True love is an alchemy of death and rebirth. Love is ever flowing, ever dying, ever reforming, ever being born again. When the butterfly is ready to break out of the cocoon, there is a greater effort required to push through the walls, to break free and shake off the final weight of the well-worn, nourishing womb sheath. That effort, that final push can feel like the hardest sometimes. And so it is with true love. That's exactly how it feels. Before we can be reborn and grow in strength to use our wings, we must go through times of trial and tribulation, even feeling as though we may die. But it is in this transition, in this squeezing of love upon us, that we are transformed. And without that preceding difficult circumstance, we would never be able to grow and use our wings. So true love is a paradox, the alchemy of death and rebirth. It is a rich initiation into yet another mysterious unfolding of the journey we are collectively dreaming awake together. This initiation calls forth breaking through yet another unconscious cave we have been living in. As much as I want to believe love is magic, it is not. True love is not a wave of the one type of transformation. No, it's not. But a transformation that requires difficult introspection, acceptance, forgiveness, release, faith, belief, and then finally, transformation. But what happens when transformation happens? The phoenix rises. For only from the ashes of who we were can we rise up to become who we are to be? Who we are to be. True love triggers you, pushes you to burn your old self, shed the deepest layers of grief, traumas, pain, unhealed parts in order to liberate the life force pathways. True love allows you to stretch inner heart muscles, to lean into the wisdom of unknown parts of our soul, to trust in things we have not yet seen or known of ourselves, and to befriend the unknown with the courage only love can muster. Only love can muster. It releases a spirit from the grooves. It brings about change and is the animating principle that produces rebirth. Rebirth. So love is this creative hate, an alchemical working. An alchemical working. So true love is a paradox. True love is a paradox, the alchemy of death and rebirth. The word love is an inadequate translation for the Arabic word ishq. And the word ishq is related to the plant ishqa or ivy, which is believed to dry and kill the host tree by wrapping around and climbing it. And this is what ishq does to humans when one falls truly in love. True lovers die to be born again. True love results in scorched, burnt out hearts who in burning find pleasure, who relinquish water of life and who pursue the feeding of flames. In the eye of true lovers, the persecution of their beloved is seen as a kindness, for the trouble caused by the beloved and the wounds and hurts they suffer for their beloved's sake become all sweetness, pleasure, grace, and bounty. True lovers fall in love with their grief and pain. From a lover's perspective, to bear pain with pleasure is even more valuable than joy itself. Pain becomes a precondition of pleasure, and grief the harbinger of joy. Without grief and sorrow, neither joy nor happiness would make sense. The understanding of grief and joy intensely mystical and pertain to ecstatic states of consciousness. And this ecstatic state of consciousness pulls you towards unification, leading you to your next stage of evolution, all the way to ultimate unification. This longing is not just a need for external gratification, but a direct connection to our true nature, to our true self. Hey, true love is you. Yeah, you are true love. You cannot have love. You cannot have love. Why? Because you are love. Love is beingness, existence, essence. If you go about seeking and demanding love, you will fall into the bottomless pit of lovelessness. The less you demand total fulfillment from love, the more you can appreciate the love for the beautiful tapestry it is, in which absolute and relative, perfect and imperfect, infinite are marvelously interwoven. So stop fighting the shifting tides of relative love and learn to ride them instead. Hey, do not be afraid to die in love. Pieces of you will die all the time when you're in love. So celebrate the death and rejoice in rebirth. Rejoice in the rebirth of your transformed, infinite, eternal, pure, and true self. Rejoice in rebirth of your transformed, infinite, eternal, pure, and true self. True love is a paradox, the alchemy of death and rebirth, as both are capable of transmuting something basic to something gold. We are living in a time where there is so much need for love, more so than ever. It starts with each of us reaching deep inside and connecting to our true nature, which is love. offering our loving selves to others, not because we seek anything, but rather because our cup is full of love and we have nothing more to do than simply share it with others. Simply share it with others. So I invite you today to be the change you want to see in the world, to be love and loving towards yourself and others. Bye-bye for now.